And for what it's worth, last week was the first time I watched Thursday Night Football and actually knew to go to Amazon Prime. So it took me 8 weeks to not jump to my normal TV looking for the game on NFL Network and everything. So,
what's the over-under that he goes to?
oh, no, I'm trained now, but it just took me a while. I always got on, I was like, man, I can't find the game. I'm like, oh, it's on Amazon. That's why. So,
yeah, old dog, new tricks. All right, let's move on here. So Thursday, 5:15, we have the Eagles versus the Houston Texans. Philly is currently favored by 9, rightfully so, and the total is 45. So, Jordan, you have a sit in this game. You also have a start. I'm pretty sure you want to go into your start first. Usually that's how you roll.
Let me do my sit first.
You want to do your sit first? All right.
we'll allow it.
Well, okay. Go ahead.
I didn't realize, when we do these, it just happened. I realized I got 2 in the same game. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
So I got Brandon Cooks to sit here. It's just a really bad matchup for Cooks. Philadelphia's given up the least passing yards this season and the 7th least amount of fantasy points to wide receivers. Cooks has only seen more than 7 targets since week 2. So I'm a little worried. I might, if I get the injury bug hit again this week, Lazard had to sit, didn't play. Cooks is questionable, so a little worried about that. But even if he does play, guy rumored to be on the trade block, and it didn't happen. I just question how much they actually use him the rest of the year.
He was mad.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just says, I don't want to play.
Yeah, pulled a Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but I'm just worried about Cooks, and it's a bad matchup. There's a lot of other stuff going on. I'm just not. He was playing a ton. He was playing a ton before. So, but he just hasn't seen the amount of targets. A bad matchup. So I'm okay just passing on Cooks this week.
I think you could be right, Trent. He may pull a Deshaun Watson and just say, I'm not going to play for the rest of the year. This is before, obviously, the allegations when Deshaun just chose not to.
They said he didn't go to practice on Tuesday. It's Wednesday for what it's worth. And he just, was waiting to be traded. He was pretty upset about the whole thing. And I guess Cowboys and Texans talked to the very end of the trade deadline trying to get something worked out, and they could not get it done.
That's so crazy, man. I feel bad for him. I almost feel like for him, I felt for Allen Robinson when he was at the Bears.
He also re-signed with the Texans.
Did he re-sign before the Deshaun Watson news though? I can't remember I think it was after. I think it was after.
But even still though, Jordan, you can be
he chose.
Yeah,
I'm just saying he chose.
Yeah, how many times do you regret the candy bar that you buy at the store, while you're eating it on your drive home? I get it. It's just...
I don't regret it till I'm done eating it.
I never regret it.
He signed a 2-year, $40 million contract with the Texans. It looks like in 2022. He just signed a new contract.
And he was what did he say? He's I've hidden lies. He said a variety of really weird and shocking
I've been
things.
hiding lies about the organization.
It seems kind of...
My thing is, I'm not going to feel bad for a guy who chose the money and a bad team, and now wants to be traded. So,
yeah. You could feel bad for him a little bit, though, I feel like.
It helps your Davis
Phil, do you
Mills
feel
take.
bad for people who make $40 million?
Thank you,
This
Seth.
guy specifically, I do feel bad for.
Jordan, let's get to your start.
yeah.
That's
so
my job, by the way. I was going to
sorry.
say that
Tell
next.
him to do it.
Jordan, please get to your start.
Thank you, Phil.
It sounds so much better coming from me.
Miles Sanders. It's a great spot for Sanders. The Texans are allowing the most rushing yards this season and over almost 5.6 yards per carry. They're allowing the most fantasy points to running backs this season. Derrick Henry had a ridiculous game last week, and I know Miles Sanders isn't Derrick Henry, but he's still the lead back in Philly. He should have plenty of opportunity here. He is getting at least 50% of the snaps, while Gainwell and Scott are about 25% each. And he's also the goal line back. He's had 6 carries inside the 5 this year. So he has 5 touchdowns, where he had 0 last year. So they're more willing to use him. It seems like Hurts is not running as much at the goal line this year. I do worry about, the second half. So Philly just kind of shuts it down in the second half of most games. But I like Sanders here. It's a great spot. You probably might not get a better spot for him this year. This Texans rush defense is atrocious.
I'm putting you on the spot here a little bit, Jordy, but because you're your start, I feel like it's okay. If you're having to choose between one of these 5 prize picks, would you do the rushing yards at 79.5, the half passing pass rush or receiving TD, 7.5 receiving yards, 92.5 rushing plus receiving yards, or 13-point fantasy score?
I think I like the 13-point fantasy score the best.
Okay.
You don't think the touchdown?
Do you think he has to get?
Oh, just for what it's worth, last week on AJ Brown's touchdowns, they were all outside of the red zone.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
like, a lot
and
of their
Miles
touchdowns-
Sanders got a touchdown last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the fantasy score or the touchdown, but the fantasy score kind of gives you the combination of the touchdown
the
plus the,
yards.
rushing yards plus if he catches a couple passes. I don't know. It
You feel
feels
good
a little
about the
more
fantasy
safer,
score
yeah.
there? Okay. No, for sure. I know I was putting you a little bit on the spot there.
For what it's worth, my sports update, Ari Marov, is that how you say his name, Seth?
I think it's Mary.
I think it's
Merov.
Merhov.
Mirov, wide receiver, he reported Brandon Cooks was listed as a full practice participant on Monday, but missed Tuesday and Wednesday and is listed as questionable. And I know he said that, but got a small glimpse of how he feels in Houston during Tuesday's deadline. Situation bears watching.
Yeah, kind of an interesting deal there. All right, do we want to choose anything else that we want to talk about in this game? Davis
You're
Mills.
just
Damian-
I think it's just player Eagles.
Yeah.
You know, it hurts.
Damian Pierce, you probably have to
For
play.
sure.
It's a tough matchup, though. It's a very tough matchup. I think there's leagues where I'm not going to play Damian Pierce.
You won't play him.
Well, I mean, so in a league I have Ramondre Stevenson, Travis Etienne, Damian Pierce, and Raheem Mostert. Who are you? You're probably not playing Pierce, right?
Here's the problem, though, is this is a really small slate. There's not a lot of games this week. A lot of bye weeks. So you're
No,
pretty
no, I
much-
get you have to,
Yeah.
but it's a bad matchup for him.
Yeah,
is
it's
what I'm
hard
saying.
to really sit anyone with a pulse because I have one team that has like 4 guys on bye. You know, like you're really like, and you can't really drop those guys.
No, you CMC, you have this is a bad running back week actually, Jordan. You have Chubb, you have Zeke, you have Pollard, Broncos, Giants, Steelers, 49ers. I mean, I guess I can go into every one of those if you really wanted, but you have a decent amount of backfield.
I get it. It's just a really tough matchup for him.
Yeah.
So lower your expectations. You're probably really happy if you get 10 points out of Pierce this week.
So I'm going to go with Eagles winning this game, going to 8-0.
Yeah, I think Eagles win this one.
Yeah, I got
Philly,
Eagles
baby.
too.
It's Philly's weekend. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, moving on from the Amazon game.
I think he was talking about the
I was
baseball
talking about
team.
baseball.
Go
Yeah, no,
Astros.
we knew he was talking. He's repping the Seahawks jersey. We're one heartbeat right now. Herd of elk, baby. All right, moving on here. We have Miami at Chicago. The current total right now is 45.5. I'm assuming Miami is favored by 5. I don't have the actual who's favored here. Trent, is that accurate? And you actually throw this in here. Let me check. Let's just assume that Miami's favored by 5. And Trent, you have a start in this game.
I have Raheem Mostert as my start here. Bears are allowing 156 rushing yards per game, and he didn't have a great game last week. I think this is a bounce back. You know, Pollard had a good game. I think you can really play all your Dolphins in this game, and I'm excited to play Fields in this game also. Like, I think there could be some good points here. I'm kind of excited about this game for what it's worth. But yeah, I like Raheem Mostert. You can play him. I know they just brought in Jeff Wilson and he knows the offense, you know, similar playbook, having the old coordinator last year. But I think there's a good bounce back spot for Raheem Mostert. Anything you want to add there, Jordan, on just anyone else you would play?
I agree. I think it's a great spot for Mostert. I think it's a really good spot for Justin Fields too in the passing game. Well, I don't like Montgomery and Herbert, so I like Fields. I like Fields in DFS a little bit. I think you can pair him up with Mooney. He's cheap.
Will
Tyreek,
Claypool be there?
Waddle, Tua,
Sorry.
Well, Claypool, I don't know. I think it helps Mooney though. I think Claypool helps Fields. It helps Mooney. So I am, I like Fields and I like this game.
Sorry to interrupt you. There,
I think
Corey.
I lean Herbert more than
Montgomery.
Montgomery.
Especially coming off that fumble. It was a bad fumble. So my thing with just Fields, like I think he can be a bye week streamer if you need one. I don't mind him at all.
Trent, are you making a run at Fields? You have Dak.
I tried to get Fields, but a lot of people bid on Fields, you know, and
No, it's a good spot.
rightfully
It's
so,
a
and he
good
got a
spot.
quarterback for the next couple weeks. So, no,
Who'd you end up getting?
I got Jared Goff, and I don't like the matchup, so I think I'm going to keep fishing the waiver wire one more time because I'm not excited about Goff.
Keep your
this
bait
week.
out there, seeing what's
But
up.
yeah, I'm going Dolphins win this game.
Dolphins for sure.
I got Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins.
All right. Moving on to the next game here. We have Indianapolis in New England. The current total is, New England is currently favored by 5.5. I'm going to grab the current total here, but do you guys want to go into this one a little bit?
It's an ugly game.
No Jonathan Taylor.
Are we for sure no Jonathan Taylor?
It's looking like it's.
Yeah,
I think
it's a tough matchup for whoever it is. I know if it's Deion Jackson there,
Deion Jackson needs to be rostered.
he needs to be rostered. He has pass catching upside, which is nice. It's just a horrible matchup on the ground for him. He's probably going to end up being popular in DFS because he'll be cheap. But again, I think it's a volume price based play only. In season long though, man, it'd be tough to play Deion Jackson. I guess we talked about the bye week situation, so it might be doable, but it's just a really tough matchup.
I don't want to play either quarterback.
Oh no, I think it's like Pittman you're playing. Alec Pierce is probably maybe like a flex play if you have the bye week's trouble. Stevenson's the guy though in New England, so
Yeah.
I think Stevenson's probably my favorite play in this game.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a tough matchup for Stevenson. Like the Colts.
Yeah,
They're
it's
pretty
pretty
good against
tougher,
the
but
run.
it's just not a great game overall. But Ramondre Stevenson is playing all the snaps. He's definitely the guy. He had a ton of catches last week too.
Looks good. They're getting him basically everything. Like there's no, yeah.
Ramondre Stevenson is the guy like you're playing in this game if you have him on your roster.
Yeah, and this one is for the total here. We have 39.5. That actually might be our lowest scoring game on this slate. So, like you said, Jordan, definitely an ugly one here.
Trent, what do you think about Pittman with Ellinger? Did you see enough from Ellinger?
You have to play Pittman with the week we have right here. Like I'm hoping that just gets better every single week. And just
It's funny that you're talking about the bye weeks. Man, I had no bye week issues in my leagues this
out of
week.
all the leagues I'm in, it's like there's like 3 teams that I'm just like this is really bad. And then I'm just looking at other people's rosters because if you're in a league that you're not doing good in, I have Jamar Chase in that league.
Oh, that makes
And it's a 14-team league. I have Jamar Chase. It's not looking good. I need to trade him, to stay alive, keep my head above the water. So I've looked at the top 3 teams to trade them guys, and they're only offering me bye week players. It's like, no. I'm trading Jamar Chase because you could maybe win the championship. I need 2 guys that can play right now, not bye week guys, So I just, Jamar Chase owners are probably struggling right now, I would think, because I was probably first round draft pick, second round draft pick.
Yeah.
You don't have him another 4 weeks, maybe this season. So
No, I think the news is good on Jamar Chase. He's talking about he's not going on IR. He may be back next week.
okay, then
It's a pain tolerance thing with him. So I'm not.
Weather the storm is basically what.
Yeah, you just got to get through it, and hopefully that
The labrum injury is not fun.
But it's. I think for him it's tolerable. It's a pain tolerance thing. It can't get worse.
Okay, because there's 2 different ones. Like your arm could dislocate
Yeah,
constantly.
his is
like
the
you
hip.
just-
It's the hip one. So
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically.
I'm sure it's not. It's painful too.
Yeah,
but
very. Yeah.
if you had Phil bringing up an old injury on your bingo card, you can fill that out. Or certified doctor on the pod.
LCL, ankle,
Yeah.
shoulder injuries.
But yeah, like I was saying, Jordan, I think you can play Pittman. Like, it's going to get better. He's going to get volume, especially if Taylor doesn't play. You have to play him.
I'm gonna go. This is in New England, right? I'm gonna go.
I'm going Patriots.
I'm going Indy. I'm going one more time. I'm trusting my boy.
What was the line?
5.5.
No, 49. Oh, 5.5. Yeah.
Okay, New
Total
England,
is-
right.
Yeah, I'm going New England.
Yeah, Patriots.
All right.
Right.
This is my breakaway. I'm chipping away at that 5-game lead that Seth has.
Just a quick reminder, give us a follow on social media at TFF Dudes.
All right. Thanks for that. Moving right along, we have
I know that's
Carolina.
a pretty smooth transition until you did that, Phil.
All right, we have Carolina at Cincinnati. The current total right now is 42.5. Cincinnati is currently favored by 7.5. Phil Walker looking really good over the last couple weeks. I shouldn't say really good. I more just like the name. He's looking adequate. What do we have? What do we?
Serviceable. He's good.
Yeah, what are we thinking about this game, guys?
It's a really good rushing matchup for Carolina, but do we know if Chuba Hubbard's back? Because that's a big question mark. If Chuba's out, it's a great spot for Deontay Foreman. You can fire him up. If Chuba's in, makes things a little bit tougher, I think.
He's
you don't
limited.
really know, huh?
He's limited right now.
He's limited in practice. So that's the thing. Like, if they're both in, it makes it a little tougher because I would think that Foreman's probably earned the spot, earn that,
I would
that
think so.
backfield. But Hubbard was playing really well in that first game before he got hurt. So it's a really good matchup for Joe Mixon on the other side and Joe Burrow.
Is Joe Mixon finally going to have a good game, like a really good fantasy game? Like,
I
is he
just
going to be a
don't.
top 5 running
I mean,
back?
that's what I just said. Mixon hasn't been good this year at all. Like, he's just been flat out bad. So
Yeah, you've had some issues with Mixon this year.
I like Mixon, but he's just been bad this year. And so just a really good matchup for Cincinnati overall. Good bounce back spot for Higgins. I know he had that long touchdown, but other than that, he wasn't doing anything. He bailed you out. DJ Moore is also in a good spot. So PJ Walker seems to like DJ Moore.
Yeah, they're giving Terrence Marshall. He's just keep an eye on him.
No,
you know?
he's someone to keep an eye on.
good
for sure.
stash player. But I'm going Bengals win this game. They did not look good on Halloween, for what it's worth.
They're really bad.
Yeah, I was out trick or treating, was not able to catch that one, but yeah,
It's a
I'll
great
take your
bounce
word
back
for it.
spot for them. I like
Yeah.
Burrow. I like Burrow stacks this week in
At home.
DFS. So
Gonna be cold, probably.
they do miss Jamar Chase, and you can see that they missed him.
What are you saying?
I just want to say, like, probably 90% of the games are going to be cold from here on out. But you can keep, being our little weatherman. But
Trent, the problem with that statement is that half the games now are played in domes.
I know.
So yeah, just take a quick look in the mirror and reevaluate your life.
if we weren't recording right now, I would seriously throw this Pepsi can at your forehead.
That would make our YouTube video that much better, Trent, if you did that right now.
You'd be shocked how quick my skills are. I'd probably deduct it and just cut to the throat. And by cut I mean uppercut. That's just to be clear. You shouldn't abbreviate uppercut.
Phil, what's our next game here? Did everybody go Bengals?
we didn't pick it. I got Bengals.
I'm going Bengals.
Has anybody gone different right now? Go against the grain right now, Phil.
Yeah, get in.
I already did. I went
Panthers?
no, I went Indy last game. So I'm going Cincinnati. Unless you want to give me the spread on this one. Any takers?
No.
No.
All right, let's move on here. All right, next game we have Las Vegas Raiders at Jacksonville. Jordan, you got to be feeling pretty good about this one. Like the Raiders are playing like total and utter trash. They've been in basically the news media has basically been riding Josh McDaniels a ton. People are calling for Carr to be out of there. Like, what are you feeling good about this one?
Well, you're saying that like the Jaguars haven't been playing like utter garbage either.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you have a better opportunity here. Like they're coming back home. They're not going
Because
to
the
be.
Broncos and the Texans and the Colts weren't better opportunities.
You're a realist. I forgot. All right. The current total on this one is 48. Las Vegas is currently favored by 1.5. Las Vegas is 2-5. The Jaguars are 2-6. Like this one is going to be. I'm surprised this game's not on prime time. To be quite honest with you guys, like this is one of those games we could probably go through it pretty quick. I don't even know if you want to say start your studs. You know what I'm saying? Like this one is going to be a weird one. I think it maybe be a decent game for.
The total's kind of high,
No, but when
but
you
it's worth.
it is kind of high, but I would say that you're probably looking at who are you thinking having a good game here? Tay, I think probably has a big
Devontae,
bouncing
Josh
game.
Jacobs.
Do you think Josh Jacobs has a big game?
I think so.
Panthers D is pretty tough.
The Jaguars.
I think so.
Yeah.
They started the season tough, correct?
You said Panthers.
Oh yeah, sorry, the Jaguars.
It's okay.
No, they started off really tough, but it's the last few weeks are just not. I mean,
There have been low scoring games though, even still.
yeah, I just think that guys are kind of ripping off runs against them, and Damian Pierce looked unstoppable against them a couple weeks ago. Even Melvin Gordon was kind of ripping off long runs last week. I don't know. I think there's some decent upside here with Josh Jacobs. I really like Travis Etienne in this spot though. It's a really good spot for Etienne.
Ethian, you mean?
ETN. Christian Kirk is fine, I think. But Devontae, Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne, I like them all. DFS wise, I think you can probably stack Trevor Lawrence. He's pretty cheap. You can pair him up with Etienne and Kirk and Josh Jacobs bring back. So I don't know. Anything else, Trent?
Maybe a Foster Moreau game if Waller doesn't
So,
play. Like
yeah.
I'm just talking
I
about
would
tight
think
end.
No,
on
you're
the
right.
wire.
I would think that Waller probably plays this week. He was close to playing last week. I think he warmed up. So
He was close to
Evan,
playing
I like-
last week. He was on the field while pregame
I
was
like
going
Evan
on.
Ingram also. Like he's a decent tight end player.
yeah,
He's
I mean,
worth taking in consideration.
yeah. And Trevor Lawrence really likes Ingram. It seems like. So.
Yeah.
I'm riding with you here, Jordy.
You going
Jacksonville.
Jags?
Yeah.
I'm going Raiders. Seth?
Let's go Raiders.
There's
I
only
mean,
one nation.
I've took Jaguars every game this year. Like this is not the spot to stop.
All right, this is
So
You're right. You're absolutely right.
so you're taking them, right?
I'm taking the.
Yeah, you have to. Thank you, Jordan. All right, we have another game here in the NFC North. We have Green Bay, 3-5 Green Bay against 1-6 Detroit. The current total right now is 49.5. Green Bay is currently favored by 3.5. Trent, you have a start in this game. This one's going to be kind of an interesting one. I mean, it's kind of sad. You know, we almost want to have a moment of silence for Hawkinson. No more hot call.
yeah. We might do the hot call more. It could be the best thing that's happened to the hot call.
Well, what I saw, and it's probably because the tight ends there, but I want to say Kirk Cousins is like his QB rating for tight ends is like 33 out of 36 possible QBs. Like he's not been great with the tight ends, but maybe that improves now that he has Hawkinson. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got his Iowa boy there. I don't know why I said Iowa boy. Maybe they would be buddies. I could see them being
I
friends.
can see them hanging out.
Yeah. I think Cousins hunts. I believe he does. And I believe, there's not much to do in Iowa besides hunting. So I could assume
generalization. Before I get into my
duck
start,
hunting is huge in Iowa. That's all I'm saying.
Before I get into my start, sign up for our Dudes Letter, the only fantasy newsletter that'll make you laugh or cry. We have our waiver wires and rankings on Tuesdays, and we have dad moves on Thursdays with the Fantasy Dad. And I will put this link in the show notes. But Fantasy Dad was just interviewed by In Between Media, gave us a nice little shout out there. So go check out In Between Media. Link to that article in the show notes. But go sign up for our Dudes Letter at www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. My start of the week is Romeo Dubs. I don't know why I keep bringing this. This is like my most started guy ever, my most prize pick played guy ever. If he does not have a good game this week, you can drop him and get rid of him. I know he was a very hot waiver commodity, but Lions are allowing 266 passing yards per game. Does Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears? Maybe you can say he owns the Lions also. I think this is a good game for Romeo to get it done. So Romeo is my start of the week. Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? I think that's a Shakespeare quote. I'm not sure, but
It's the only thing Trent learned in school right there.
Yeah.
basically, yeah. Is it Tabolt or something? But I'm not excited about the Detroit passing game though this week.
I think St. Brown's in a pretty good spot here without Hawkinson.
the volume should be there. Swift didn't practice today.
And he only played 50% snaps last week. It is a good matchup for running backs, though, for Detroit. Like, if Swift weren't to play, Jamal Williams is in an awesome spot.
I think he played Jamal regardless, honestly.
I think the best guy in this game is Aaron Jones. I know you're obviously already playing Aaron Jones, right? You don't need to be told to play Aaron Jones, but, like, he's in a great spot. I love him in DFS this week, too. It's just a really good spot for Aaron Jones. Detroit is just as bad as Green Bay against in the run game.
Yeah.
Cheap tight end flyer DFS. I guess if you had no one else in the waiver wire, but like Brock Wright,
He's worth the stash, I think.
Tight end. TJ Hawkins is gone. I'm pretty sure he is a rookie. I don't quite remember where he's out of. He is out of Notre Dame. And it looks like he is a rookie. No, he's undrafted second year guy, but they seem to like him there. He's been involved the last few weeks. So Brock Wright, just got to name keep on your radar. DFS, very min price tight end.
Yeah, maybe Tanyan's another guy that
I think Tanyan's also in a good spot
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah. I'm going Packers win this game. Go Pack, go. Phil, you gonna go with the Lions here?
I'm 0-2 right now with the Lions over the
I
last 2
think
weeks.
you're more. The last 2 weeks.
Last 2 weeks, yeah. I think I have to go with the Packers. I think they get it done here. There's no reason for them not to. If they don't, there's a lot more going on in Green Bay than we probably know. So I'm going. Unless you guys want to give me the spread.
There's definitely more going on in Green Bay than we know. I can assure you.
So
that.
who are you taking here?
I'm taking the Cheeseheads, baby.
All right.
Hey, I'm gonna take Detroit here.
Clap it up for that. I'll clap up for the.
I just don't.
Clap it up for a stupid decision.
we support stupid decisions
Yeah.
on this pod.
I don't
Throw that hood on, 8
Guys,
Mile, baby. Let's go.
I think
Get it.
Green Bay is very bad. I just don't think they're very good. The only reason if they win this game is because Aaron Jones has 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, I just don't see. I don't.
You don't see that as a possibility?
No, it is. But Detroit's also at home, and they play better at home. I just think they're close to winning the game here. So I'm going Detroit.
They play when he says they play better at home. They're like 1-4 at home this year.
They're more competitive at home, though.
No, Jordan. You're right. I'm just talking some trash because they've only won 1 game this year. But you're right. They're I'm just bummed that they don't have Hawkinson. Although you know who does have Hawkinson also playing on Sunday morning, the Minnesota Vikings, who are playing the Washington Commanders. The current total right now is 43.5. Right now Minnesota is currently favored by 3.5. Trent, you have a sit in this game, but do you want to talk about this? Like Hawkinson is at, like, are we going to be hearing the hot call? I know we talked about it already. What do you think?
We definitely might hear the hot call. I don't know if we'll hear it this week. It's middle of the week trade.
It's not that
New
far
offense.
though.
Yeah, but still, it's a whole new offense. You understand how complex an offensive playbook is in the NFL?
I can imagine that Kirk Cousins probably doesn't have that complex of a offensive scheme. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like
it's the old Rams O coordinator. Is their
No,
head
I'm
coach.
saying like they keep it simple, right? And they execute really well. That's basically Sean McVay's mantra. Just I don't know if you've ever heard that, but
Okay, thank you for that. Commanders are for sale. You saw that.
Commanders are
Kinda
for sale.
interesting there. But my sit is Brian Robinson. I just don't trust him. It seems like Gibson's getting all the goal line carries. You're hoping for a long touchdown. And his snap percentage was actually down this past week, Jordan, which I was surprised looking at it. Where is that? Let me see that here.
They're in a 3-way split. The running back
Yeah,
position.
he had 20. He got 25%. He was on the field 25% of the time. So I guess it's just hot hand, but I'm sitting Robinson. I know it's a tough week to sit, guys, but that's my sit of the week. Their Vikings are actually, their defense is good. It's not. They're 6-1. This is like the most underrated 6-1 team in the NFL, and seem to be getting a little better, but they're not bad defensively.
It's a much better matchup for the passing game. It's a better matchup for both passing games. Both defenses are better against the run. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's 25% Brian Robinson last week, Antonio Gibson 35%, J.D. McKissick 35%, which the week before was more like 45, 40, 16, where McKissick was got the raw end of that deal. But it's a 3-way split. They're all untouchable, I think. You just got to guess which one's gonna get the touchdown. And I like Terry McLaurin though. Heineken,
Heine, yeah.
yeah,
Heine.
he Heineke. Sorry, he really likes Terry. So I like McLaurin here. And then obviously you're playing Justin Jefferson. DFS wise, like Taylor Heineke stacks are just interesting. He's very cheap. Pair him up with Terry McLaurin, bring it back with Justin Jefferson. Just interesting to me.
And the Commanders are 500 right now. I just have kind of forgotten that. I guess you could say like
We can't bring up revenge game for Kirk Cousins.
I think he's past that.
You like that? You like that?
You mean Kurt?
yeah, Kirk.
He kept calling him Kurt. Remember? Was it the GM or the owner? I'm pretty sure it was the owner, right?
I don't.
One
I
of them
can't
kept calling him
remember.
Kurt.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyhow, all right.
He's going back to Washington though. I don't know. Maybe he's been back since everything happened, but I'm going Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going Vikings as well.
I'm going Vikings.
Skull.
I'm not going to do it.
We can't skull clap every week.
No, we
I
can't. It's got to be like, yeah, if Hawkinson catches a big TD pass, I may do it with you next week, but that's contingent.
Sunday night on our recap.
Yep. All right. So the next game we have here is LA Chargers playing Atlanta, another 500 team here. The current line total is 49.5. The Chargers are currently favored by 3.5. Jordan, you have a start in this game. I'm going to let you hop into that one.
Yeah. So I have
Josh Palmer.
yes, sorry. I got Josh Palmer here.
Nice catch.
Thank you, Phil. I appreciate it with the help. Yeah, so same reason I had DJ Moore as a start last week. This is the best possible matchup for wide receivers. Josh Palmer might be the lone ranger there in that offense at wide receiver. It might be him and DeAndre Carter. Mike Williams is out. And Keenan Allen is probably highly questionable at this point. He did not respond well over the bye. Did miss practice all week so
Did they
far.
say it got worse?
I don't know what's happened with Keenan Allen, but that's some serious issues with his hamstring going on.
And you don't want to rush back on that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, he said he's not going to return until he's 100%.
Yeah, and that may be a while. So
Yep.
Atlanta's the best possible match. AJ Terrell was out last week, not practicing this week so far. So that's Atlanta's best corner. Atlanta's giving up the most passing yards, second most fantasy points to wide receivers. I just think Josh Palmer's had 6+ targets in 4 of the last 5 games he played. He had 12 in the last game he played. He did miss the previous week with concussion, but the game before that had 12 targets. Coming off the bye, should be healthy, should be playing this week. I just really like Josh Palmer, and it's more about the matchup and the spot and the volume than it is about how good I think he is. I think he's a talented wide receiver, but just Herbert should be able to move the ball up and down the field this week. So I like Herbert in this spot. I like Josh Palmer. I like this whole it's not San Diego, LA Chargers passing offense.
It's all right.
Do you like,
You like
Harmon?
Everett?
You just said that.
I think they're both interesting.
I think you play both almost.
I like Everett more in the season long. I like Parham more in like
He just
DFS
likes Everett
wise.
more than Parham.
Well, based on just pure raw like fantasy points. Austin Eckler's a smash in a great spot here too, without Keenan Allen and Mike Williams.
Yeah, and LA is you can run on LA. You know, it's
it's a good spot.
Carter
I
Patterson
just
is
don't
back.
I don't know who to play.
Exactly.
You know, is Patterson
Huntley,
for sure?
Algier, they're both like splitting work. It makes it tough. So
He said he's
I don't know.
close to full health. Phil, what news do you have? You know, you're kind of the
TMZ of the pod.
TMZ of the pod. You know,
Are you talking about Cordell Patterson?
yeah, you hear
He was designated to return to practice off the injury reserved following a knee scope. So I think they're probably just cleaning some stuff out there. I would assume he probably doesn't play on Sunday, but the team decides he's good to go. That is a possibility. So
it just makes everything more crowded though.
it
Because
does.
you think like they're just not going to use Algier and Huntley after how good they've looked.
I think it's a committee now.
Yeah.
so I think it looks like Commanders.
Yeah, it could look
Maybe
exactly
a better
like
Commanders,
that.
though.
But they want to run the ball there anyways. So it just makes it hard. I just really like the Chargers in this spot. DFS wise, I like Herbert stacks. And there's tons of cheap options to pair him with, which is nice. So
Someone's probably going to be screaming this out that I totally should have remembered this, but is there any other wide receiver that played really well in college that switched to running back? Obviously, you have maybe like people will say like Debo, maybe people might say Amon-Ra St. Brown. They play a little bit, but they don't play in the same way Cordell Patterson plays.
there's probably someone out there. I can't.
I can't think of anybody. Trent.
Not at the top of my head right now. No.
Yeah. Anyways, probably not worth it. Anyhow.
Is Pitts the best Falcons this week though? Kyle Pitts.
No, I took the under for what it's worth.
I know,
so-
but like, if you had to say I have to play, like, for example, in DFS, like if I want to bring the stack back with one Falcon, it makes this so hard to stack against the Falcons because who do you want to play on their team? Like,
yeah,
Drake London is just, they're not using him.
I'm getting ready to drop Drake London. It's taking everything in my willpower to keep him on my roster, but I'm doing it because I know he's one of those guys that you drop
He's
him.
extremely talented.
Yeah, you drop him and he gets picked up. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No.
Like, I hate dropping guys knowing someone else is going to stash them, but it's not fun stashing anything. You know what I'm saying, Phil?
I do know what you're saying. Sorry, I was trying to see what it looked like. The stats look like on Drake London if he was being dropped a ton, because I'm not pulling it up here. My apologies. Let's.
I'm
keep
gonna
moving
go
on here.
Chargers here.
I'm going Chargers also.
Chargers.
Chargers.
All right. And if you are looking for some extra fantasy football help from trades to waivers or just looking for a good time, join our Dude Nation Discord. It's the place for you. And yeah, we got it all in there. So there's a link to our Dude Nation in the show notes. Go ahead and check that out. Phil, give us our next game, please.
All right, awesome. So we're moving on to Buffalo at the Jets. The current total right now is 43.5. Buffalo is currently favored by 12.5. This is their second week being a 10 plus favorite, in the last couple of weeks here. Trent, you have a sit in this game. It's more of like a committee type sit, but you want to get into this one?
I'm going sit Jets running backs. I
Yeah.
think this is going to be, if the Jets think they can win this game, it's going to, well, I'm sure they think that, but they're going to have to do it through the air.
Yep.
So
You have a good
I have sit Jets running backs. I'm going to have to play Michael Carter in a league. I'm not thrilled about it, but Bills are allowing 94 rushing yards per game. They're the fourth toughest team to run the ball against this year. So I do not. That's my sit. It's Jets running backs. Maybe Michael Carter or James Robinson falls into the end zone, and that's kind of, you're playing those guys. You're just hoping they get a short touchdown. So I think you can play Tyler Conklin, Jordan. He had, 11 targets last week? Any tight end getting that amount of targets, I think, is worth playing almost against anyone.
So, yeah, I was just looking this up right now. Corey Davis did not practice today. He missed last week. I get the feeling he probably won't play again this week with the sprained MCL. So, yeah, it's a tough matchup for the Jets, but if they're going to be down, he's going to have to throw the ball to somebody. I like Garrett Wilson. I think Tyler Conklin is fine, too. Those are the two guys. You know, it's pretty much. You see what Elijah Moore? Was it Denzel Mims or Elijah Moore? I think it was Elijah Moore. They asked him, you know, what it was like playing with Zach Wilson or something, and he said, "I don't know. He doesn't throw me the ball."
Yeah. I think it was Elijah Moore.
Was it Elijah Moore?
Yeah.
Obviously, the guy does not want.
He's
to
like,
be
he
there
said it,
anymore,
but he's like, talk to us about your on-field chemistry with Zach
Yeah,
Wilson.
he's
He's like, I wouldn't know. He never throws me the ball.
Yeah.
There's some sort of snark here. I'm pretty sure it was Elijah
yeah.
Moore.
So
And they didn't trade him. I thought
Yeah.
maybe Packers might go after him or somebody, but
That's weird.
He's only in his second year.
I know.
And is the deadline now over
It's
for I know it's over, but what about for Odell Beckham? Is his situation a
No,
little
because
bit-
he's a free agent. so he
Okay,
can
okay,
sign
okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think Garrett Wilson's good, fine. I think Tyler Conklin is nice tight end play. Then obviously you're playing. I think those two, Wilson and Conklin, are also good in DFS this week. They're both too cheap. And then you are playing all your stud Bills, right?
Yep.
Bounce back game for Gabe Davis. Speaking of the Falcons, Demir Bird, maybe, if you're just going for a YOLO play, he has back-to-back touchdown games.
Yeah, it's
so,
the ultimate YOLO play.
I love Jordy's realism.
It's paid off the last 2 weeks. If you had YOLO play on
YOLO only goes so long, It's like a fuse. Like at some point, it's just gonna, blow up in your face, and you're.
but
not
it's
gonna
sure
be happy.
fun while it's happening.
Sure.
I'm going.
Anything to say about that, Jordan?
No, just play Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. I like Gabe Davis here, Josh Allen. The running back situation
James
is a little.
Cook, Phillips, James Cook.
Well, the problem with James Cook
Well,
is,
no,
I'm just
he-
yeah, they just
They
got
picked up
Naeem
Naeem Hines.
Yeah, I know. So that kind of kills James Cook.
I do like James Cook for what it's worth, but now it's like, who knows what that looks like?
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to look like, man, we're spending way
I
too
don't,
much time on
I
the
don't
Bills running
feel like
backfield?
that it kills Devin Singletary that much.
You don't think it's going to look like the Commanders or anywhere
don't
else?
think so.
Yeah, we'll see. This will
We're
be
all
interesting.
taking Buffalo, right?
We are all taking Buffalo.
Seth.
Yeah, Bills.
If
Although
If Bills lose, Seth or Phil might do that Bills Mafia
wanna know
dive
what's
on
fu-
this table.
I might. What's funny is the Bills are favored by 12.5, and the Jets have a 5-3 record. Like they actually don't have a bad record for for some of the other teams that anyhow. All right, let's move right along here. Seahawks at Arizona. The current total right now is 49.5. Arizona is currently favored by 1.5 at home. Man, this is going to be, we have two bird teams playing each other. This is an NFC West
Bird
showdown. Yeah. We don't have any starts or sits in this game, but I think this one could be pretty fun. I mean, I think there's a lot of pieces that would make sense here for a good lineup. Go ahead, Trent. What were we going to say?
I don't think it's a double points weekend because the new Call of Duty just came out. So Kyler might be, guns blazing.
He might be dialing it up. Geno Smith's been looking pretty good the last couple of weeks. I thought DK was more banged up than he actually played last week. Like he looked pretty good, and Kenneth Walker looked great too. So, anything you guys want to talk about here?
Playing Walker. I heard you wrote Geno Smith a letter, Phil.
Didn't write back.
Can't believe you told me to say that before the podcast.
I did not.
Even that funny.
I did not tell you.
You gotta say.
Edit. I did not tell him to say that.
You should really write him though.
Yeah.
It's a great spot for both passing games here. I like DeAndre Hopkins a lot this week. Obviously, he's a must start. Rondale Moore is interesting. Kyler Murray, I guess you're just playing him.
You have to.
Do we know about James Conner? Anything on James Conner?
I haven't heard.
It said he was limited.
Limited. So we'll see. I tend to think he probably goes this week.
He practiced all last week, limited too.
Yeah.
It's just ribs with a running back is really tough.
It's tough.
That's no fun.
But he's been out for a while. I tend to think he goes.
At least when I'm talking about injuries, I'm speaking from an experience. Like you talking about ribs and an injury in the RB, that just fires me up. Sorry, go ahead, Jordan.
No,
you gave me shade because I
it
said
hurts to breathe when you break your ribs.
Well, I'm just saying I was talking about playing a sport with an injured labrum, and Trent, if what did you say? I don't even know what you said.
I said, yeah.
Yeah,
Phil was
just-
talking about
Is this
injury.
the guy that crawled off the football?
Actually, on Monday we should have a moment of silence for that, but it was Phil's year anniversary from him missing the
And it
podcast.
still hurts.
Yeah, Phil missed the podcast a year ago because he rolled his
And
ankle.
do you want to know something funny?
The
Well, I
funny
walked
part was-
around, I trick-or-treated all night and iced my ankle that night.
so it's Halloween. You did it on Halloween.
No, I did it right before that. I think it was actually two.
I think it was the Monday before. But anyways, it was worth bringing up. And we weren't recording in the garage back then. Like he was recording from home
And he
over
couldn't do
Zoom,
it.
and he couldn't do it. Like he had to rest his ankle.
I don't know what to
I
say.
use my ankle a lot while we record these podcasts for what it's worth.
Well, when I'm prepping for a joke, it's like I'm getting ready to hit like a jump squat, and so I use my right leg because that's my power stance. So I couldn't prep.
That was a horrible
I
comeback.
don't think that deserves a comment, but yeah,
Edit.
rib
I did
injuries
not-
hurt. Rib injuries hurt.
But can you agree with me a little bit, Jordan? This guy should not act like he knows what he's talking about when he's never experienced either of those.
I'm going to
things.
get back to
Yes,
the
just
actual
get back.
game. Geno Smith, really good spot. He looks great. DK, Lockett, Ken Walker, just play them all.
Blink twice if you agree with me.
DFS-wise, I like Hopkins a lot. Geno Smith, it's probably too cheap here. So it's a good game. I like this game quite a bit.
I hate you, Seth.
That's our producer.
He did crawl.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, Seth was there. We could do a whole pod on just what went through Seth's mind watching that. That was his first time he met you.
No, it was not. My athleticism is like it should not be tarnished by that one. Here's the thing: when
Even
you're
the best fall down sometimes.
when you're injured animals, if you come near them, they go into a corner and they just get ferocious. Instead of doing that, I was like, I need to calm down. I don't want anyone to touch me because
I
I
heard
might.
like a weird whimper though.
I just didn't want you to touch me because I might throw just like one of my slicing elbows, and that's that. Anyhow, let's just move on to the next game here.
We're taking you.
Cardinals.
How dare you, Seahawks?
Yeah, for sure. Seahawks.
I'm
Sorry,
taking
I was.
Seahawks too.
Yeah, Seahawks. Thank you. All
It's
right.
amazing you guys like talk so much trash to each other and like can't stand each other's guts, but like the same team. It's kind of cool.
No, I appreciate.
That's what's so good about sports. They bring like uncommon people together.
Yeah, exactly. I can say it. There's a variety, like short, tall, smart, me, not. No, I'm just kidding. I said you were tall at least. Then I focused on one of my worst attributes, short. All right, let's move
I
on
think
here.
Seth just muted your microphone.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you want me to go on the differences between me and these two other guys over here?
Tough, wimpy. Anyways, keep going.
Smart, intelligent, good looking. I can keep going on about my attributes. Let's just. All right.
Just
This
reminder,
is such
we
a
have
dumb
dog,
pod.
We have a
This
dog
is.
movie draft coming up.
I
so
wish you could just mute me out of this pod. This has been one of
door's
my
right there.
worst.
No one's stopping you.
I said I was going to quit after your
After my
dumb
single
diva.
pie talk, yeah.
Gonna
All
crawl
right.
out of here.
That was actually good.
All right, get us our next game.
All
man.
right.
Seriously.
Man, just give this guy a promotion. That was
You
a good
see-
joke.
okay.
Give him a camera. Actually, you know what? Don't.
Yeah.
All right,
We're
moving
trying
on.
to help the YouTube
Yes,
channel.
exactly. All right, Rams Rams at Tampa Bay. Current total right now is 42.5. Tampa Bay is currently favored by 3. Man, these are two teams that have just seen better days, man. This is a very interesting game. I don't think it's going to be a fun game. It's not a very exciting game to me. Jordan, maybe you think differently. Do you want to jump into this one a little
My
bit?
notes say I kind of hate this game.
All right, man. Yeah.
I don't trust the Rams running backs. You're obviously playing Cooper Kupp. Chris Godwin's safe. He's going to get you probably 13, 14 fantasy points in a PPR, 10.5 point PPR. Mike Evans is, Mike Evans, Lenny. Trent, do you have a, do we have,
He doesn't have
No,
a
I
sentence.
don't.
Oh, okay.
No, I have Leonard Fournette. That's my start of the week. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's
well,
a good Leonard Fournette spot.
While
yeah.
he was studying for the game in candlelight because his power was out, he forgot to update the sheet.
Hey, it did set me back a little bit not having my phone was dead, and Phil kept texting me.
Oh
just,
man, you wouldn't survive in the
Hey,
1800s.
Phil, yeah, I'm at 5% battery trying to do show notes, and Phil's telling me like, okay, make sure you have plenty of water. Don't flush the toilet unless you have to.
Trent's
Keep your
like, how do
fridge
I
closed."
reset my breaker? I'm like, hey man, like the power's out. Like you resetting the breaker's not going to change anything. He did it 4 or 5 times, and it's just
so you like Fournette here, Trent?
I like Fournette. It's a pretty good matchup, and he played. I like this bounce back for Fournette. The volume should be there. I know White's getting a little bit more involved, but I do like Fournette here. So a little bit I don't even know if I can call it a revenge game. I don't think it's worth calling it an anything game. This is kind of a old man game maybe between Brady and Kirk. Like it's just
what
Beginning
part
of-
of revenge were you talking about?
well, the Bucks got knocked out by the Rams in
Oh,
the
yeah.
NFC Championship.
Oh yeah.
You know
I
what
thought you were
mean?
talking
Like,
about usually when you
when
say
a team
revenge
beats
player.
you in playoffs, you kind of hate them
Yeah,
for the rest of your
I
life.
thought-
So I think the Bucks are going to come out fired up for this game.
Yeah, I got Tampa here.
I'm going for the Bucks. I'm going to take Tampa.
Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Fire to the cannons, Tampa.
All right, all 4 of us are going Tampa. That makes me feel real good. All right, moving on here to the Sunday evening game, Tennessee at Kansas
Why
City.
does that make you feel good?
That's because I
Actually,
can't.
don't do that anymore.
I
Just
can't
keep
lose
everything
ground. I can't gain ground. Whatever.
yeah.
All right.
All right, yeah, that's cool.
Tennessee versus KC.
feel you.
Both of these teams are 5-2. I think Tennessee's 5-2 is a little grittier than I would say KC's playing with Malik Willis. We're gonna see what this guy.
Is it for sure Malik?
Let's not look it up. Let's just say it is. 46.5 is the total. It might not be. I'm sorry. Total is 46.5. Kansas City is currently favored by 12. I'm going to look that up while you guys start talking here. We probably, again,
Yeah, this
can't.
guy is really slacking on his hosting job. Trent had
Yeah.
a start in last game.
No.
I
That was
did.
forgivable.
Yeah. For once, that was forgivable. Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's not clear actually right now.
I forgive you.
I think it's not clear
That
right
was really
now.
hard to say.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's unclear right now who's going to be starting
Say
this
it one
game.
more time.
No,
please.
I was talking about you not throwing to me for my sit, Phil.
No, I know. I was still. Just give me a second.
It's
I was
not
teeing
clear
you
to
up.
him right
I was
now.
teeing you.
Okay.
I was teeing you up. I'm gonna go around.
His ankle hurts.
Yes, Jordan, you have a sit in this game. Seth, shut up.
Phil mentally went through a lot of trauma.
Yeah,
thinking
the
about
zing.
his ankle injury and all went back. Like basically almost had his ankle amputated a year ago, and we brought it to light, and now he's rattled.
Trent, you are not someone to
rattled.
talk about. You had to get carried out on straps, like
like a wounded animal. Thought they
you
were
had
putting-
no more fight in
I
you.
thought they were putting an apple in my mouth.
Here's the thing. Stupid. You thought you were on a
Was it darn
spin.
pass? Anyway,
I'm surprised you even knew what that was. Okay.
Phil, when it comes to history, I'm probably the smartest guy in this pod. So just keep going.
You don't know what I'm. Jordan, just give us your sit with CH. This
pod's
guy.
gone far too long.
Yes.
My sit is Clyde.
It's probably way funnier for us than it's going to be the people
That's the
listening.
problem.
To this.
Is we've been recording for 2 hours, and I'm going to do my very best to whittle this down, editing to an hour and a half.
It's been like less than an hour.
All right, Jordan, I wanted them to just really credit my editing skills.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is my sit this week. Tennessee's one of the toughest matchups for running backs to give up the least amount of rushing yards and the 5th least fantasy points to running backs this year. CH is in a 3-way timeshare. 32% snaps week 7, only 6 carries, and ran 7 routes. So not a lot of usage. He's basically getting there, getting by on touchdowns. So I just think Tennessee's only given up 1 rushing touchdown this year. That's pretty good. So through 8 weeks in.
Well, they had a bye, but yeah.
So 7 weeks, 1 rushing touchdown. Patrick Mahomes wants to throw the ball anyway. So I do not like CEH at all this week.
I have a wild card for you here, Jordan, that could throw a wrench in this whole thing.
Yes.
I am playing you in fantasy football this week. I'm forced to play CH even though I don't want to, and that would be the only reason I think it would be good is just because you're playing against the guy, and that's the only reason. But I agree with everything you say, and I wish I didn't have to play CH.
Are you doing an egg bet? Like what?
No.
So
CH could get one receiving, though.
The Chiefs running back, he can. Chiefs running backs and wide receivers.
I always forget about
they're-
that possibility.
They're just a mess. It's all a mess. The Chiefs offense.
In theory, he could also get one. No.
It's Mahomes and Kelsey, the only people you really trust in that Chiefs offense right now. And then hey, Derrick Henry, you're gonna play him, but I will say, Tennessee's the worst matchup for running backs. Kansas City's the second worst matchup for running backs. So it's an awful matchup for Derrick Henry. You're playing him, but don't be surprised if he goes back to that single-digit fantasy performance like he did in week 1 and 2.
Well, if in Malik Willis or Tannehill is playing QB, like that also is rough for any of their rushing numbers, like especially if they're playing against a good rush team.
For what it's worth, Tannehill did practice today, it looks like.
Okay.
I kind of hope Willis starts the rest of the season, but we'll see.
Yeah. Man, just looking at Henry's stats here, he had 28 carries 2 weeks ago. Last week he had 30. 3 weeks ago he had 28. 2 weeks ago he had 30. Last week he had 32. So he is they're running that guy into the ground. So if they're going to try to keep it out of Mahomes' hands, but this is going to be a tough game. For the Titans, I have Chiefs winning this game.
I got Chiefs.
I also have Chiefs winning this game. All right, let's move on here. We have Baltimore at New Orleans. The current line total right now is 48. Baltimore is currently favored by 2.5. We don't have any starts or sits in this game unless Trent forgot to put it on the sheet, which I imagine he didn't. But any thoughts? What do you guys want to jump into here?
Mark Andrews, kind of, it's a little scary. It's a Monday night
tough.
game.
It's a Monday night game.
Like,
The good thing is if Isaiah Likely's on the waiver wire, that does give you some flexibility.
yeah, and I guess you could maybe put him in your IR spot if you have one. Hopefully
Yeah.
you do. Then you can pick up Likely. But yeah, Mark Andrews, it's kind of
Don't you just want to stay away from it? Since like you said, Jordan, don't you just want to stay away from it?
Yeah, it's
like
just
he's
hard, though,
he's
because
so
it's
banged
tight
up. It's
end.
2 different injuries. He's so banged up. It's 2 different injuries. Yes, I know it's tight end, but like, why not pick up one of the Chargers tight ends? I mean, you're not going to be able to pick up Everett, but you might be able to pick up Parham,
Yeah, or you could pick up like some of the other
Conklin.
guys we've talked about, Conklin,
Ingram, or how is Ingram high on? No.
No, not super high owned. So maybe we get some maybe we get some clarity on Andrews. It's a Monday night game, maybe Saturday night. Practice on Saturday
it's
may
from a
matter.
Thursday to a Monday, so he had a
Yeah.
lot,
So
Not 4 days,
it's
but it's
definitely a
longer,
big question mark. Gus Edwards, also, if he's healthy, I think he's a good play. On the Saints side, I like Olave and Kamara. Just kind of here's the standard guys here.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going Ravens win this game. I don't know if anything else you guys want to say on
Yeah, I'm
that.
gonna go Baltimore too.
Ravens.
All right. Well, let's get into this draft. Seth, you can actually pull up on Twitter right there last week's draft. It's in the draft folder, and show us what we got right there. You can just throw that on the screen for all the viewers. But last week's draft, Team B had 42% of the votes. Team C had 28.9% of the votes, and Team A had 28.9% of the votes. So Team B was our winner, and that was Tootsie Rolls, Black Licorice, and Jawbreakers for worst Halloween candy draft. We had a lot of people mad that we didn't put Circus Peanuts on there.
I did mention them.
Yeah, Three Musketeers went undrafted. A lot of people hate those, and I
Really?
thought about it. I'm not a Three Musketeers guy. Like it's just
I don't mind them.
But it's just chocolate.
Yeah.
Like it's
Like I don't
terrible.
think it's the worst one. Like I like,
No, by no means.
Who eats circus peanuts? I asked both my parents if they had circus peanuts when they were kids, and they said no. So
I actually like Circus Peanuts, but I don't want the whole bag. I like 4.
What do they
and
taste
good.
like? Are they?
They're kind of like a hard marshmallow. Like
but like when did you ever get them like actually trick or treating?
I never got them trick or treating.
So I'm just curious, like who got them? Like,
well, it's kind of one of those candies where it's like it's got to be wrapped, right? Your parents don't let you eat unwrapped candies, you know. So like, who's handing out Circus Peanuts?
Oh, it's like one of those
You know what I mean?
bags where
one
it's
that's like
unwrapped.
a bag. Yeah, it's like and they don't make them they don't make them in like snack size bags. Like it's a big bag. So it's like, who's going to spend, $1 for 2 bags of Circus Peanuts? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that was a thing that happened back in the day.
so like
And-
way back in the day.
Yeah. Like, I don't think I've never gotten Circus Peanuts. for
That's. I mean, yeah. Okay.
because, like all candy is wrapped now.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's a sweet banana flavored treat. Interestingly,
Wow. And now I figured it out. I didn't know that was banana, but yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, like yeah.
Seth, you have you got the picture of the draft up there.
Yeah.
So
I won.
Yeah,
We got
team B won.
Phil, you get first pick on whatever number Seth is holding behind his golden locks
I don't have blonde hair, but
anymore. Hey, you know what? The viewers don't know what you look like, so we'll describe you
I'll let
differently
them
every
imagine.
week.
I kind of look like Brad Pitt.
Now you look more like Pete Carroll, which you did not have at Halloween.
Oh, sorry. What numbers is he putting behind?
Numbers between 1 and 3.
Okay, I'm gonna take 3.
I'll take 2.
Guess I got one.
Numbers 2.
I take
right.
2. All right, and so we'll go me, Jordan, then Phil.
That makes
and
sense.
It's linear. So we're going dog movies.
Oh,
Man, I wasn't quite ready to go first. I'm going to go with a classic here. First dog movie I think I ever saw. I'm going with Old Yeller. I cried when Old Yeller died.
Good one.
it's a good one.
know,
Who
maybe-
didn't? If you didn't, you might have.
Yeah.
You might go see a
Check
therapist.
your pulse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so Old Yeller, that is my number one. It might have been the first dog movie I ever watched. Who's the guy in that movie? He's the coach from Miracle. Like the guy's super famous.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I'll look it up right now. But yeah, great movie.
He was
hated
also
those,
in,
those pigs. Made me so mad. But
He was also in Tombstone, wasn't he?
yeah,
Who you're talking
great.
about?
Yeah, great song. Maybe one of the best songs ever in a movie. Like "Come Back, Yeller." But yeah,
I don't think you're thinking of the right guy there, Trent.
he's the little boy. It's not Fess Parker. What's the little boy?
He's the little boy who shoots Old Yeller.
No. What's the little tiny kid that gets Old Yeller?
Spike.
What movie are you looking at?
You're talking about
Spike.
Old Yeller.
Talking about Old Yeller. The boy's name is. I'm looking it up right now. Man,
Trent, I think
You
you're
think
thinking
of
of the
your-
wrong movie.
no, this is the movie right here.
That is the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the coach in Miracle, Jordan? What's his name?
He was also in Tombstone.
That's him as a little boy.
Yeah, let me see. Tombstone.
I know someone's just Kurt Russell. That's
Kurt
Kurt Russell
Russell.
as a kid. I
How
wanted to
did
say,
we not-
I kept wanting to say Bill Russell, and I knew that was wrong.
Yeah.
So Jordan, you're up next. Old Yeller went 101.
As it should.
Yeah,
Man, this is a tough one. I got two solid.
go with like cats and dogs.
I don't know what that is.
Balto.
But,
Go-
Lady and the
Balto.
Lady and the Tramp.
Lady, you strike me as a Lady and the Tramp guy. That
I'm
spaghetti
between
scene.
two, and I know Phil's gonna take whichever one I don't take here. So
Beethoven.
I'm just gonna go. It's a classic, Air Bud. Like
Oh,
can't go wrong with
okay.
Air Bud. The first Air Bud, the original one, right, where they had the clown guy, and
Is that the basketball one or the football one?
I think it's the basket. What is the original one? It's basketball. The original Air Bud is a
Yeah,
basketball one.
Air Buds. Hence
Yeah.
he's getting air to dunk and all that
Yeah.
jazz.
Thanks
Remember
for
that
laying
clown
out-
that goes? Yeah, the
Spoiler
original
alert.
Air Bud.
I'm an Airbud guy.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. I think I've only seen part of the first one. I'm really not into basketball, as you guys know, so I just kept me from watching that one.
It's a classic dog movie, Phil.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't watch a lot of TV, and so Jordan asked this question. I think this, and Jordan, you kind of brought this up. I'm surprised you didn't say it. I think that I should be allowed to use it. I think John Wick should easily be on the table. I also think I Am Legend should be on the table. It's basically the second character in the entire movie, right?
I agree with I Am Legend. I don't know about the other one.
I'm going to do I Am Legend.
I feel like that is such a stretch to go I Am Legend for a dog movie. That is a zombie movie.
The dog is an integral character in that.
So is the dog in Big Jake. That's a John Wayne movie from the 60s.
You should be allowed to take it.
I don't think that people didn't go into I Am Legend because it was a dog movie. Like I do not. I'll let you
Here,
take it.
I'll let
I
him
don't
take
think.
it 'cause it makes our choices. Our
I do
selections
not
better
think
in the
that's a
next
good.
round.
All right, I'm going I Am Legend. I think people online are going to agree with me. I'm a pretty smart guy.
I really think that's a huge stretch for a dog movie to say. I Am
How?
Legend.
He's literally in the imagery of the movie. Like if you look at the image of the movie, it's literally him and the dog walking.
I just feel like you're opening up a huge can of worms of like what is a dog movie, what's not a dog movie.
So would you say the movie Old Yeller is not about the boy? It's just about the dog?
It's literally the dog is on the cover of the movie.
It's the dog is on the cover
It's
of
on the
I Am
cover of
Legend.
I Am Legend too.
It's almost the exact same
I'll
theme.
let you take it. Why don't we just do a movie draft? That's basically what you could do.
All right,
You know
let
what I'm
me
saying?
compare the
Trent,
two.
just take your second.
No,
your
hold
second.
on. Let me hear me out, okay? I'm going to just the movies run parallel, okay? What happens to the dog in Old Yeller?
He dies.
Because he
Has rabies.
and so what happened?
He dies.
He had to get shot, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So what happens in I Am Legend?
Ooh, it's
He
a good
becomes a
point.
zombie.
He got bit, got a disease, potentially rabies, and then the guy has to shoot him. So they're basically the same exact story.
Can you just have a normal
Jordan, is that
Can you
right?
just have a normal draft for once in your life? Every draft is like, oh, I got to do this. It's like
You're
you
mad
make me-
because I use logic to beat you at your own game.
It's not going to beat me at my own game. This is not. This is just totally like outside the. People are going to say this and be like,
They're going to be
"That's
like,
not a dog
man,
movie."
why is this guy not riding, And just pick your dog movie.
your movie.
This is so stupid. All dogs go to no. I'm going to go with Oliver and Company as my number 2.
Oh, yes, that's a good pick.
It's Oliver and Company.
You had a terrible childhood. It's a Disney movie made in the 90s. A little dog, why should I worry? Why should I care? Crazy guy with the cigarette, and he's got those two like Great Danes or whatever. Oh, it's a great one. That's old like 90s pre-Pixar Disney movie.
Oh yeah, this one.
Oh, it's a great
I
one.
remember
Yeah,
this
it
one for
captures
sure.
those dogs. Yeah, it's a classic. Yeah, I'm going Oliver and Company with my number 2. Jordan, what do you got next? I'm guessing Phil is going to do like Pride and Prejudice or something. I'm sure there's a dog in scene 4 in that one.
Yeah. Have you not seen I Am Legend?
I have.
All right.
I am going to go with Where the Red Fern Grows.
Oh, man.
yeah.
Daggers
I
to
don't
the
know why.
heart.
I don't know why.
Hey, at 2.2, that's pretty solid, I think. Yeah, I don't know about that
Always
one.
better in the
but-
book.
I thought Phil was going to take that at the end of the first round.
I
thought
almost
Trent was
did.
going to take it right now. I am thrilled with Where the Red Fern Grows.
Oh, it's solid value right
For
there.
what it's worth, I think there's 2 of them. There's the original one that was made in like 1974, and there was a newer one in 2003.
I haven't
Oh,
seen
I've
that
never
one.
seen the 2003 one, nor would I,
You
honestly.
never seen 2003 one?
No.
Oh wow, the 2003
and
one
Ann.
was pretty good. But yeah, I'm going with Where the Red
So you're
Fern
going with the
Grows.
2003 one.
I like the 2003 one. I'm surprised you guys haven't seen that one. That's the Disney. It's the Walt Disney one, 2003. I thought that one was really good. So it's a remake of the 1974 one. So.
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean, Where the Red Fern Grows is just a great story, you know.
I have a really good round 3 pick. That will win me this draft for what it's worth.
Yeah, maybe.
No, it will.
I am going with Fox and the Hound. Does that count?
Absolutely.
All right, Fox and the Hound. The dog is named second in the movie, Fox Hound. So are you sure you want me to go with that one?
Yeah.
That was actually one of my favorite movies growing up.
I watched it the other day. Tearjerker.
It's a tearjerker, you know.
Todd.
That was kind of our
Todd,
that was
yeah.
kind of our friendship. You know, I moved to LA. You hated me because I did that, and then we
Still hate you.
anyhow, Fox and the
That bear trap and the hunter. Fox and the Hound. That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, you know, in a lot of these dog movies, there
I
are
like
some
the
like
bird. I like the
adult
bird
themes,
nose. Yeah.
where they're like, you know, it's kind of like if you think about Where the Red Fern Grows, that kid gets like there's like a kid, the kid falls on the like there's some crazy stuff in some of these movies. You know what I'm saying? Some really life altering things that happen. Anyhow, Trent, let's just move on.
I like Fox and the Hound. I almost went with that one. Maybe we're not all so different after all. But anyways, I'm going with Homeward Bound.
That's a good one.
I don't even
was gonna
remember
try to
what
get
that one is
Homeward
about.
Bound is great. It's one of those dog movies where the dogs talk, which was kind of cool as a kid, hearing them talk and all that stuff. They end up getting, they got to make their way home.
Like animated or no?
No, real dogs.
You never seen Homeward Bound?
I might have.
Absolute classic.
That's what I was gonna take, Trent.
Yeah, Homeward Bound. It is. That is
The
just
Incredible
90
Journey.
Hey, it was an incredible
Yeah,
journey.
that's what I was talking about.
It was an
Like,
incredible journey. Yeah.
That's the title, Homeward Bound. The Incredible Journey.
1993.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so you got there's some porcupines in there. Yeah. Fun, loving American bulldog pup, a hilarious Himalayan cat, and a wise old golden retriever embark on a long trek through the rugged wilderness. Phil, that'd be a great movie to watch this Friday night with your kids. They would love it. But yeah,
Okay.
it's a
I believe you. I
It's a
believe you.
great one, yeah. I have not watched that movie as much as I wished I had, but it's one of my favorites. Jordan, now that I jacked your pick, what do you want?
I'm going to go with I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority of people who like this one, but I'm gonna go with obviously it was released kind of when I was a little kid. 101 Dalmatians.
Oh, that's
a good one.
Yeah, I feel like I watched that one a lot as a kid. Yeah, I don't know. Cruella de Vil was
Have you seen the new Cruella de Vil?
no. I kind of
I didn't mind it.
It looks good.
No, it came out like 2 years ago. It wasn't bad.
Oh, it's who's the actress in that?
Can't remember, but maybe it was just because it was COVID and I hadn't seen a movie in a while. I got to watch that from home, but was it terrible?
I thought 101 Dalmatians pretty solid movie.
Yeah, the cartoon.
Yeah, the cartoon one is probably better than the live one, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man, I just helped you out right there. You're welcome.
Oh, I
You're
remember
welcome.
watching both of them. The live one came out when I was like real little, and then obviously the 101 Dalmatians, the cartoon one.
That's
is
been
older,
out,
but
yeah.
The cartoon one's definitely better for sure.
Cartoon one's great. I was gonna say Up, but that's not totally a dog movie. Although there are a ton of dogs in that movie. Have you seen that? Has anyone seen Up?
I'll let you take up.
And I'm not
if you
gonna
want.
do.
No,
I'm
go
not
ahead
gonna
and
do
take
Up.
Yeah.
This is what I'm gonna do. Marley and Me.
That's a really good one. That could have maybe saved your draft.
That is such a tearjerker. Has anyone in this room not seen Marley and Me?
I
Seth,
have
you
not.
seen it?
I have not seen Marley and Me.
Wow.
It's a sad one. It's one of the sad ones. I don't want to. Spoiler alert. I know it's been out for a little while now. But yeah, that's that. I think that one closes out. There's a lot of other good ones though, like Lady and the Tramp. That's a great
Lady and the
dog
Tramp's a good
movie.
one.
Yeah, that Lady and the Tramp's a good one. Did anyone watch Bolt? I can't remember.
Bolt's
never
great.
watched that
Bolt
one.
is great. I really like
All
Bolt.
Dogs Go to Heaven's not horrible. That's a decent one.
Yeah, I mean,
That one kind of scared me as a kid, if I'm being completely honest. I maybe need to give it another try.
why? I'm
I don't
surprised
know.
Goofy didn't get brought up. He's a dog. Let's see here. Anything else that we can think of?
Max, did you watch Maxville? White Fang,
I'm not familiar with
Iron
any
Will.
of
That was
those.
a good one.
Oh, Call of the Wild. We mentioned that one before we got this draft
Yeah.
going. That was a good one. They had one just recently come out. I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything else.
Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doo.
The
Yeah.
Shaggy
Scooby-Doo.
Dog was a classic. Phil,
There's a lot of them out there.
a lot of tear jerkers. But yeah. So, anyways, guys, I think that does it. Don't miss our week 9 recap. We're past the halfway point here
Crazy.
on our pods we're doing. So, get our week 9 recap on Monday. And as always, don't be rude, share the dudes, and take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.